Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Q. I have been wanting to do this video and I wasn't quite sure how to do it, but we're talking about healthy things that we could do differently. Probably you're already doing a lot of healthy stuff, but there's other ways that we can process. So what would it feel like to be a little bit more healthy or maybe just feel lighter in the body? Or what would it be like if it was just so easy that you could throw a few things in a blender? So, I don't know. I love it. So initially, I started doing juicing, and juicing was kind of like a sacred event. Like I would put all of these vegetables and some fruits in there, and then I would bathe them and bless them, and then eventually it was, my juicing got kind of corroded because I did juicing probably every 3 days, and then I just kind of noticed that there's a lot of pulp, and then I tried to process some of that pulp with a broth or something like that, and then I never used it. So I'm getting a lot of guidance right now, and this video is called Pulp Nonfiction. It's about all about Quentin Tarantino. That's super funny. I think it's super funny. This is one I've wanted to kind of talk about because I just came off of a beautiful seminar with biochemistry. It was 21 hours of biochemistry, and I couldn't really process what was going on, but I'm actively listening. I take notes, and I may doodle. I don't know. It's super fun. All right. So when we're looking at this pulp with juicing, it's like we're losing a lot of what we call fiber that could maybe help us. And so that's pretty amazing. So when I was in Vegas with the seminar with 21 hours of biochemistry, I had this beautiful lady from California, and we got to be friends because we sat together for 2.5 days. And so she just said, I was telling her about juicing, how much I loved it. She said, why aren't you getting the pulp? And so my partner says, why aren't we doing that? And then she said it, and then I felt like I could say, I think you're right. I think you're totally, completely right. So this idea with pulp nonfiction, if something is showing up for you and somebody, like several people say there may be some truth to it. And so even like back when I was in yoga, when I was beginning to become a yoga teacher back in Houston, I realized that the blender that the yoga teacher had was super strong. You could put throw all of these things in. You could even put a beet in there. I put cucumbers and I could put cucumbers and celery and all kinds of different vegetables in my protein drinks. So this is what I'm kind of looking at right now, is that I think people have told me about, the pulp is good. And then I kept, just noticing that I think that's the best way to go. And so honestly, when we look at some of these beautiful consciousness of this beautiful, could be going through juicing and then learning that there's more to the event with what we call pulp, with the beautiful things that are showing up in the blender. So all of these things are really, I think, guiding us to feel lighter and feel brighter. And I think even like when I was back in Houston, sometimes I look back at some of my pictures, maybe 10 or 20 years ago. And I think I look better now. I don't know. I think my hair is more natural. I had like really dark, like Elvira hair. But I think everything is, feeling better. My skin is improving and gut stuff is really working for me. So there's a lot of great guidance through just getting a blender. And it may be something that mine was maybe like $110 at Target. It was not a big deal, but I can, still put all of those things in there and it blends up. And so all these energies are really working for us. So we work with a certain nutrition group, Optimal Health Systems, and we just put some protein powder. We do the fruit and veggie powder as well. And so we just get all of these beautiful guidances, that we bring in. So with some of the blender energies that we're working with now, is we're putting in all kinds of, flax and all kinds of, spinach, kale, arugula, and it's orange times up here in Arizona, so we put in a couple oranges. So these are all really beautiful gifts that help us to illuminate more goodness with not only our body system, with the inside of our body, but also the superficial qualities that come through with some of these beautiful blending events that we do. So the juicing the juicing piece is over because I had done it for so long, and it looked like it was kind of corroded, and it probably would go to Goodwill. I think so. Somebody might like it. Maybe they can clean it up. But this juicing, the juicing piece, kind of really kind of propelled me to go deeper with getting better guidance about health and natural qualities, and getting all these beautiful, beautiful vegetables, and then a few fruits in there with the juicing. So I don't know why I'm talking about all this, but I just kind of really feel like that nonfiction, pulp nonfiction is really coming up as a great indicator for better digestive tract, for skin, for hair. I just did my hair. My hair was like this big. It's like Rosanna Dana, so I had to make it small. So, anyway, yeah, so that might be something for you to consider if you're looking at, you could say like you might maybe want to do fiber, fiber in a container, or you could just make your own fiber with the things that you're using. And everything I do in the kitchen is really about processing vegetables and finding different vegetables and different colors of vegetables. And sometimes we just, sometimes we kind of get bored with it. It's like, oh God, here we go again with something else. And then most of the time we get things that are raw that go into, for certain, that when you're doing that blender energy and producing that pulp, it's all fresh. And then, but with some of the other times that we want to cook, we can do a little stir fry, and we don't really do too much with rice or noodles or anything like that. So all these things I think are really like yummy and wonderful. So I just wanted to share this with you today. So pulp nonfiction, Quentin Tarantino, it's very interesting just kind of looking at how we change over time, how we change over time. And what's so funny too is that I'm really kind of going into this space where I want to feel lighter in my body. I want to look at the scale and have it really relate to who I am now. So, a number of years ago, I was pretty heavy. It's kind of heavy. We always kind of get like that, and sometimes that heaviness in the body and the different frame that we have, it's kind of interesting because sometimes it could be about stress or cortisol or these different things. I'm not a doctor, but this is what I've observed about myself. And so the more that I'm going through and learning more about nutrition, especially with that seminar with biochemistry, I mean, I can't necessarily just process that, but I'm going through some of these steps to see if I can feel lighter in my body, have greater senses of awareness. And even recently I had to use some brain stuff because I was kind of spaced out. I don't know, sometimes people get spaced out or ungrounded, or maybe they can't find their words. Sometimes those things kind of show up, and that's weird, but it's like sometimes those things happen because there's probably something in your system that's asking for something more. How can I clear this energy, stagnant energy? You could do it through energy, energy work, or I do all of that. I do the energy work plus I do a ton of nutrition. It's so good. A lot of it's methylated, methylation pieces. All right, so I think that's it for now. So I really would love to get some feedback on this video. That would you be available to do a great blender event and use that? And that's really what we do at night, is we do the blender at night, and it's so freaking good. I cannot wait to go in there and get that blender going. It's so delicious. Some of the stuff with arugula is a little bit it's not my partner's favorite kind of flavor, but I love all of it. I love absolutely all of it. So with that, I'll just say, just happy healing and happy healthy body that you have. Just keep going forward with things, and making different choices and learning new ways of cooking or processing vegetables. Some of the berries would be really good with some of these blender events that we do. We try to kind of go down a little bit with that sugar, so we kind of dial that sugar down. But anyways, we still have oranges here in Arizona, so we're kind of getting those processed through some of these beautiful drinks. Anyway, so that's it for today. It's super fun. I just love you all. Have a great day, and a namaste.